Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. You know, I love creatives, I love the arts, and we have Dazaria Harris and Shane Bland with us. We're going to talk about the upcoming production of Beauty and the Beast. I won't sing any lines for you right now until I have a cocktail later, but I promise you're going to love it. It's at Garden Theater, which is in Winter Garden. If you haven't been there, you will absolutely, positively love it. Huge thanks to Desiree for getting us involved and introducing us. Welcome, you two. How are you?
I'm good. I'm well. How are you?
Good,
I
thank
am
you. Excited
well.
to be here.
I'm
Yes.
excited for you to be here. You know, Beauty and the Beast is just an amazing show. It's an amazing story. I think it's one of those universal ones. I won't sing Mrs. Potts' song from there, Tale as Old as Time, but you know, in my brain, all of these songs are going through. I had kids when the movie came out, originally young kids, so it's stuck in
Mhm.
my
Yeah.
brain forever. But enough about me. I want to talk about you. So I told you before we went live, the audience loves an origin story. They kind of want to know, hey, how'd you get from a kid to being a performer? So I'll let you guys go front and center. Dazaria, we'll start with you.
All right. Well, I first started in the church. My father's a pastor. My mom's a missionary. Like my entire family is church. So I started off in the church, Church of God in Christ. So every day I would sing, and I was just sort of forced. I really wasn't like a oh, do you want to? It was never really a question. It's like you're going to go sing. So we would sing every day, and I would be like it literally like 4 or 5 years old up there singing and just going with the flow. And after that I found a love for it and then a passion for it. So I would be in a lot of shows. My first show was in high school. It was Fiddler on the Roof. It was great. It got
Nice. What
canceled,
did you play? Who did you
unfortunately.
play?
I was just in the ensemble as I should have, but like it was something. But like I absolutely loved it. I fell in love with it then, and I just kept going from there. And I went to American Musical and Dramatic Academy in New York. I studied there, conservatory, and after that I came back, and then I started working. So this is my fourth show here. I did Raisin in the Sun, Godspell, Parade, and now Beauty and the Beast. And so I'm excited for what's to come.
And who do you play in Beauty and the Beast?
I am Belle. I am Beauty.
You are
Weird
Beauty.
to call myself that, but yes.
That doesn't mean you're Beast, Sean, but in the show you're Beast. You know how Shane, I'm sorry, I said Sean.
That's all right. I always
Shane.
say I answer to Shane, Sean, and Hey You. So any one of those is totally fine. So as long as you're calling me, I'm
Okay,
happy.
exactly. That's what you want. All right. Thank you for sharing that. Tell us, Shane, about you and your journey.
Oh, and what a journey. I actually grew up in the Great Canadian North, just outside of Edmonton, Alberta. And I come from a theater family. I have five older siblings. Most of them were involved in the arts in some way, shape, or form, and as well as my mother. My mother and one of my brothers was involved in speech arts and drama. Two of my sisters were professional dancers. And then our middle brother, right out of high school, had his own band for a very long time, and then ran a special effects and stage lighting company. And I kind of came up under them and somehow became the musical theater baby. Everybody kind of specialized in one thing, and I enjoyed doing it all. And so one of my brothers ran a family theater company for many, many years. So I started performing with him. And then in Edmonton, we have a big professional regional theater. And I booked my first show there at the age of 15. Did a couple of shows there. And then at the age of 18, I booked my first national Broadway tour, which was Harold Prince's Showboat. I always say that was my college, that was my university. I got to work with the likes of the late Cloris Leachman and the late Ned Beatty and Dean Jones, Valerie Pettiford, who was nominated for a Tony for her role in Fosse, the musical, and a whole bunch of other, Broadway greats. So that, I always say, that was my college experience. I spent 3.5 years with the show. And then, a lot of regional theater. I ended up with the Toronto production of Disney's The Lion King for a couple of years. Off of the heels of that, ended up in New York on my first Broadway show, which is where I met my wife. And I forget how many years later, and 3 kids later, we somehow, with the
it all kind of runs together at that point.
Made our way to Orlando. And so we relocated here about 1.5 years ago. And I met our brilliant director this past fall, and she had casually mentioned that she was, directing this show, and I should come audition. I was like, oh yeah, I got so much going on, and I wasn't really paying attention. Then I saw the audition notice, and I was like, you know what? Let me just go do this just for fun. I've kind of retired. But I was like, you know what? I've done the show before. It would be an easy thing to do. I would love to play, Third Knife from the Left, just to be able to sing these songs again, be in the show. And somehow the fools, they cast me as the Beast. So
that is an amazing story. And thank you for sharing, by the way. What I want to know is, when you get cast as the Beast, because I don't know anything about the show other than I know the story, of course, and I love the theater. Do you get all gussied up? Did they take away this very theater acting face? You both have the face for TV and video and theater. What's the transformation like for you?
I will find out in about 2.5 hours what that will be. We have our first dress rehearsal later on today, and all of the magic is kind of slowly coming together. So I've seen what the top of my head will look like. I have no idea yet. I know there's stuff coming, but I don't know. I don't know what this is going to be yet. So it's going to be a surprise.
And you don't know what your transformation is, Desaria, either, right?
Well, yes, I have a bit more of a grasp on mine. It's just a lot of nice dresses. I love them. I absolutely love them. And a lot of the promotional materials, you see my blue dress that I wear for most of the show. Certain things are changed, but there's just, I know what that feels like. The shoes alone in this show, I absolutely love.
Yes.
But today, in a few, I'm gonna see all the rest, and I've seen materials, but I haven't put everything on, like the big, yellow dress, the gold dress. I'm excited for that. But
I'm excited for the whole thing. Now, we had a lot of questions. I didn't know how to answer this. Is it a musical or just a story, or describe what's going on? Because every adaptation is different.
This is our adaptation, our version of Disney's, the Broadway version of Beauty and the Beast. So this is, and what I love about this is this being Disney Theatrical's first foray onto the Broadway stage. And I believe it was 1994 when the show opened on Broadway. And they basically lifted everything you saw in the animated feature and brilliantly figured out how to put it on stage. Ellen Menken has added a couple of new songs, which are amazing for this production. But what I love about what we're doing here at the Garden Theater is, again, we have truly the most brilliant creative team. And they have taken this show and they have just turned it on its ear just enough that it's everything that you know and you love, but updated, but not in a way that you're going to go, oh, this is different, or I don't understand it. You're going to watch this show and everything that they have added is just as you feel like it has always been there. I love that. Which is wonderful.
Yes, I agree.
So tell me what I think anybody who's my age or younger knows the music I watched that video with my daughters ad nauseum for 1,000 times over when they were younger. I think I still remember the songs more than them. What's your favorite performance part? What's your favorite either thing to sing or the scenes that you act? Because it's you all have a passion. It's like I know it because I know a lot of creatives, and you have to birth it. And so you're telling a story, but you're really loving it and living it. And you can feel that when the performance is going on. So for you guys, is there a song that you sing apart together? Is there a scene that you guys go, oh my God, this is my favorite? Anything you can give us a sneak peek about?
I know for me, and this is, this, I don't say this to sound self-centered at all, but the song that the Beast sings to close Act 1 is a beautiful, beautiful song. And I actually remember watching Terrence Mann, who originated the role of the Beast on Broadway. He originated Rum Tum Tugger and Cats and Javert in Les Miserables. I remember watching his Tony performance in 1994, 1995, watching him sing this song. And from that time, I have absolutely loved it. And again, I went into audition for knife number 3. Yeah. And in the audition room, they asked me to sing this song. And I was like, I hadn't prepared it. They didn't ask me to prepare it. And I, just my love for it, I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. And so I love that song. Yeah. I actually love our initial scenes together, yes, which really shows off Desaria as Belle and her strength and determination in that, me and all my beastliness, she's like, that doesn't matter. Right? We butt heads. She stands up to me. She is strong. She is defiant. And I absolutely love that. So those are my favorite moments in the show.
Yes, I have to agree with when it comes to the scenes. I love those scenes where it's not this, oh, scared Belle of bees. It's like, no, I see through all of that. And, where we're just standing up to each other. It's fun. It's very fun being with the characters, Lumiere and Cogsworth, like all their reactions to everything. It's very fun to act it out. My favorite song, and not to be vain, but it is A Change in Me. I love A Change in Me so much because even during callbacks, when I had to prepare it, I was, how usually like, oh, let me get the note right and, let me find an action. While I was researching it, while I was singing it, I realized that it truly was my song, my anthem in the moment of my life right now, and how it's a lot that I was going through, but I was standing very strong in myself and just taking away everything else that I'm just looking forward to and what I wanted, and things not working out and seeing struggles or hard times and finding beauty throughout all of that, and truly standing within myself. So I absolutely love Changing Me because every time I sing it, I'm reminding myself of why I'm here, my purpose, and that is bigger than just me being in this role, and little black girls watching me, little white girls watching me, everyone watching me, and just to be inspired by that. It's more than me, and knowing the responsibility of it all. So I love A Change in Me. That's my favorite song.
I love that. And we have a question that I think is pretty cool. Stephen wants to know, how does it feel to break the stereotypical barriers? I love that the story is the forefront. What do you all think of that? Because it is, we have in our minds, we have Beauty and the Beast, and I love, I know what he's asking, and I think it's a great question to ask. I love it. I think shows like Bridgerton and other shows have sort of helped break that down and make it more of the norm instead of the insanity that it was in the past. How do you guys feel as the lead performers about that?
It's heartwarming. As I posted, early on in this process, I forget what I was sort of responding to, but I never thought that I, in the way that I look, I never thought I would ever be in the running for a role like this. Yeah, because you have these preconceived notions of what it has been in the past. But what I love, and again, giving full credit to our creative team, in particular, the artistic director, Joe Walsh here at the Garden, just breaking down all of those barriers and stereotypes, but not in a defiant way, but just let's just do this.
Yes.
Let's just choose. We're not going to make a big political statement. We're not going to move mountains, but let's just do it, because there, as Desaria said, there might be a little girl out there, a little boy out there, that they don't realize that they have an invitation to the table.
Exactly.
They have an invitation to the story. They are just as deserving as anyone. And they don't realize that until they see somebody who looks like Desaria in that beautiful dress, right? Or standing up to, an insecure bully, right? That they are allowed to participate. And I always say, these are fairy tales, right? Every culture has a version of this story. And so everyone is deserving to partake in these roles. And we're opening that door.
Exactly. Yes. And just to piggyback off of that, like, when I got the call back and I saw it, because I was like, I would love to be a fort. A broom, whatever the case may be. I just wanted to be a part. And when I saw the call back, I literally cried but immediately I started to judge myself, because I said, I don't think I would be right for this, and all the things they're going to have to do to make me beautiful. And not because I needed to know this for myself. It was more of because of what other people see of me. Right. You can stand in your beauty, and I know that I'm beautiful, but I don't think everybody else does. And throughout this process, with the incredible team that we have who are so supportive, they were able to, without even saying, encourage me. They didn't make a point of, well, because of your size, or well, because of your skin color or your hair texture. They were just, no, you're in here, this is you. You just be you. They constantly told me, just be me. And so I had to constantly remember that and unlearn a lot of this. And it's such a pleasure. That's why I always say it's bigger than me, because I wish I saw this when I was younger. And also when you're like, we belong at the table, but also the fact that the Garden Theater and, Joe Walsh, who I love dearly, and Roberta, our director, who I love dearly. Roberta, a Black woman, being the director of this show, knowing that if you're not invited to the table, you can make your own. And that's what the Garden Theater does all the time. And they don't say, wow, look at my table. We just simply set it out and we invite everybody to it. And you can like it, you cannot, but we're going to keep
here.
Yeah, it's right here. So it's so important.
Speaking of that, tell them when the production launches, how they can buy tickets. Give them the 411 as we close it out, so that they can get involved, find out more, and come see you all perform. I'm super excited.
Absolutely. We open this Friday, April 22nd, and we run through May 22nd, usually Thursday through Sunday afternoon. We've got a couple of Wednesday performances. We've got a couple of Thursday afternoon matinees. You can go to thegardentheater.org to get your tickets. Go now, because this show, even before we open, is almost sold out, which is just amazing.
It is.
It's incredible. In the decades that I've been doing this, I think this is the first show that I've ever been a part of where I'm like, I had to stop handing out flyers, because I'm like, you can't get a seat on a Saturday afternoon. It's sold out. So there are seats available. Go, there are seats available, but go now. Because after this weekend, I guarantee, there'll be a couple of single seats, for a random Thursday, and that's it.
Got to do it. All right, go to gardentheater.org, and that theater, of course, is spelled the English way, the British way, I think, or the old-fashioned way. It's TRE, and it's scrolling across the bottom. Shane, Desaria, oh my God, I loved every second of this. I feel like I'm in the presence of royalty. No, I love the fact that you guys were honest and open. And I love the fact that you're just as excited about this performance. And that, I think, attracts people. If you're excited, we're excited. Thank you both for being patient coming on the show. I'm excited to go see it. I haven't asked for my special tickets yet, but I will go to gardentheater.org and buy some tickets. And I want to encourage everyone else to do the same. Support local theater. This is so important. Garden Theater is an amazing venue right in the heart of Winter Garden. You guys get out and support right here in Orange County. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Desaria. And thank you, of course, Desiree just popped back on to make sure I was behaving. Thank you so much. Beauty and the Beast starts this Friday at Garden Theater. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. Come back anytime.